up and down. I've been all over. I've been trying to, you know, get my schedules right. Being busy. So yeah, quite flustered. How are you
I
guys
can,
this morning?
yeah, I can imagine. I'm good, thank you. There's a lot going on, I can imagine, and I know that you are pressed for time, so I won't take, too long of your time. But listen, congratulations on the album first and foremost. We are lovers of Rainbow. I mean, our favorite songs are Party in Heaven. Also, Work for It. One of our favorites. We played all the time on the jump off. So we want to, congratulate you for another well-deserved album. You're doing fantastic.
Thank you so much. I really
All
appreciate
right.
that.
All right,
Mhm.
awesome. Let's get into it. Ladies Ma, what inspired this latest album, and how does it differ from your previous work?
I think what inspired it more than anything is just like a reignition of passion for music, a
Mm,
need to kind of express a more tranquil, happy side, and just how different is it from other works. I think this is my
mm,
first time really being ready, really being,
mm,
um, yeah, prepared for what's to come.
mm,
You know,
mm,
I think when you start off, you are not as prepared. You are doing it just solely from passion. You don't know anything about anything. In fact, this
mm,
morning I was reminiscing about how there's so many things I didn't know when I first started. And I think the
mm.
perception, the public perception is that when you're an artist, you kind of have it figured out because you have teams around you. But those
Yeah,
teams are just support structures around you. You, as an individual, you might not be internally prepared, mentally prepared. So this time
yeah.
around, it was with information, with knowledge, with understanding what I'm actually doing and how important it is, and not just putting out music because I want to, Yeah.
Mm, mm. Speaking of that, how would you then say your artistic process has evolved since your last project?
I don't know if it's evolved. I
I
think
feel
I've
that it
evolved.
has.
Maybe I'm just, taking a stab in the dark here. I'm more
Yeah,
open to collaboration, and not
yeah.
collaboration as in featuring, no, I'm talking about collaborative effort in creating the work. I'm much more open to
Mm,
that.
mm,
And I think I'm just more articulate in
mm.
expression, and I kind of now I'm not making songs that are like, I don't know how to express it. Like, with Love Is Blind, né? A song that
Yes,
everybody
yes,
loves.
yes,
It's
yes.
a song that was really about how much I didn't want to be part of the industry, but at the same time, I love music so much. And for me, it was like, this is my definition of how love is blind. And I also
Sure.
kind of covered it with innuendo of actual relationships. So I wasn't as plain in my delivery. But this time around, I'm very plain in my
Mm,
delivery. I'm saying what I'm thinking. I'm singing what I'm thinking, and I'm
mm,
not trying to cover it up,
mm.
by making it seem like it's something that it's not. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. And what message or emotion do you hope listeners take away now from this new album?
Hope, hope and happiness,
Hope.
guys. Rainbow
Okay.
is a happy album. It's a very happy album in terms of the feel, the mood. It is not an album that is burdened by sadness or trauma or any of that other stuff that a lot of people
Mm,
seem to
mm,
love. And I want people to just take that thing of joy and happiness. So when you're trying to find a song or an album that you want to have put you in a good mood, Rainbow
mm,
is an album. If you're feeling depressed about stuff,
mm.
listen to Rainbow. I promise you, you will feel better. If you feel sad about somebody passing away, listen to Party in Heaven. If you're afraid of dying, listen to Party in Heaven. you know
Look. I'll tell you one thing. Like it is a favorite here on this show. On the jump off, Party in Heaven is literally our party starter. We call it a party Friday on the jump off every Friday. And look, Party in Heaven just fits right in. And we have a jam. We have a jam in studio. But speaking of tracks, which one on the album holds the most personal significance to you or for you, and why?
Oh my gosh. There are two songs. This is the first time someone's asked me that, by the way. Um, the two songs, it's Enough and Sweet Fire, right?
Okay. Okay.
Enough, I wrote it when I really didn't feel worthy of ever being loved. I think anyone
Oh.
who's ever gone through anything that is really bad, you blame yourself for
Mm.
everything. You feel like you are unworthy. You feel like you will never get it right. You feel like maybe there's something wrong with me, you know? And
Mm,
I created enough because of that. Like it was a thing where I was struggling to accept that it's just life. It happens to everyone, but you are
yeah.
enough, and you don't need to be more. And then Sweet
Mm,
Fire was also a song that I wrote from a place of great frustration, um, and anger, where it was like I didn't understand how you can give so much of yourself to people and to
mm,
something and it, you know.
mm,
So those
mm.
two songs, they hold a lot of real personal significance to me, and they're also the first two songs that were recorded for this album. So
Oh,
yeah,
hectic. All right.
yeah.
And how do you balance experimenting with new sounds while staying kind of true to your musical roots? Because as we know, Yanos has kind of taken over the industry now. Everyone's doing Yano challenges and it's Yano this, Yano that. But you have kind of, stuck to your roots, how we know Lady Zamar, how we love Lady Zamar, and you've kind of, pushed that vision and pushed that mission. And I mean, we're still loving it. How has that how has that balance happened for you?
I'm very honest about the type of music I like. I
Mm,
don't lie to myself about that. So
mm,
if I'm feeling piano, trust me, I'm feeling it. I probably know all the songs, all the lyrics, and all that. That's exactly what happened in 2020 going forward, where I became so
sure.
engrossed in the culture. I
Mm,
wasn't participating in it, but I was really like following the whole thing. But at the
mm,
same time, there's a level of how would I approach it? How would I do it? So
mm.
as much as I love and appreciate the genre, it's a matter of adapting it to myself. It's a matter of
Yeah.
adapting how I would interpret it.
Mm,
And I think that's the thing with me and music. I love all kinds of music, but there's a rhythm in my soul. There's a sound that I have inside of me that I
mm.
want to kind of come out every single time I make a song. And I don't force it. It's not something I'm consciously doing, by the way. It's not like
Sure.
I have some formula that's like, oh, this is how. No, it's just how I hear it, how I hear the
Sure.
music and how I interpret it. And that's how
Sure.
I stay true to myself by being honest about what I love listening to, what kind of music I want to make, but also staying true to the fact that is this something that makes me happy, that I'm on it.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm, mm. Hectic. And can you share just a memorable story from the recording and production process of this new album?
I think the story, it has to be Blame Game. You know,
Okay. What happened?
Blame Game. It was a thing. There was a guy I knew who had gone into a relationship with a girl and basically cheated on this
Okay.
girl. And so this girl was telling me the
Mm,
story. And I found it intriguing, surprising, and all of those other things.
mm,
And
mm.
I think it was a couple of days of talking to this girl who was the side and just talking to her, just kind of getting her view and experience. And
Mm,
I was intrigued because I know people very well, and I was just like,
mm.
wow, this is crazy. This is unexpected from everyone involved, you know.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
remember just when I was like, I sat with my team and I was like, this has happened, and I would like to make a song about it. And everyone's like,
sure.
what? I'm like, yeah, I want to make a song about it. And we just played around with it. Sometimes you have to take a very heavy thing, you have to
Mm,
take the experience and almost try to walk in their shoes, and
mm,
so that's what I did. So the girl on the side, I decided when I was in the studio that I'm gonna try and walk in her shoes and kind of
mm.
see how that would feel, but at the same time being cognizant that social media might misinterpret and think it's my story and I'm talking about
Yeah, yeah,
myself. It's
yeah.
fine, y'all can do whatever you want. It's cool, but that was a fun process for me. Even when the song was done, it kind of like when the song was born, it took the heaviness off of the situation that was there.
Mm, mm,
I
mm.
hope everybody who's listening to it, who was involved, um, is actually enjoying the song, and I'm sorry for
Yeah.
exploiting stories, but it was interesting, yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of, songwriting and all of that, how do you approach that songwriting? Like do you start with lyrics? Do you go with melody, or is it something entirely different? Like how does it work?
It's hard to explain. It's really hard to explain because I think with every song it's different. I think
Mm,
every song has
mm,
got its thing. There'll be some songs where you start with a melody. There'll be some songs where you start with the idea. There'll be other songs
sure.
that you start with, um, the concept of it. But I remember with Blame Game, it really was a thing of walking in that girl's shoes and just kind
Mm,
of seeing how she sees it, and I remember just going, blame it on me, blame it on me, blame it on me. Like it was just a thing that in my mind, I was like, if I was in front of people and they're accusing me of doing these things, I'd probably sing this. So
yeah.
sometimes it feels like music exists way before it's actually produced. I feel like there's songs that should be sung. And I think sometimes we as artists are given those songs. But yeah, so it's
Mm.
hard to explain the process, really. Yeah.
Okay. And what impact do you hope? Because I mean, we were speaking about your album, and you said, it's a message of hope. And what impact do you hope your music then will have on the music industry and the world at large? Because look, you're international, hun. You're international, hun. You're international, hun.
Thank you. I think that the impact I really want my album to have in the industry is just, I don't know how to say this without sounding weird and like a cliche. I don't want I want artists to understand their value as
Mm,
people. I think social media and the people that participate in trolling and stuff have got
yeah.
this have got this warped sense of entitlement.
Mm,
They feel
mm,
like, and I'm not talking about people that appreciate the music and people that
yeah.
consume. No, I'm not talking about those people because you guys, we love you.
Yeah.
I'm talking about people who sit and make it their sole purpose to discredit people, to twist stories, to to victimize and almost objectify artists and public figures,
Mm,
musicians,
mm,
almost minimizing their role in society, trying
mm.
to make them feel like they're not good enough and they don't belong in the space.
Yeah,
um, I think for me, what I want my album to do is to show the people that are like me who participate in this. Because it does happen. You go up and you go down. It's life. Every career is
yeah,
like that. It's an up
yeah.
and down journey. I want people to know that it doesn't matter what people say about
Mm,
you. You know, the
mm,
thing that you contribute to the world, you shouldn't let darkness take it away. And people that
yeah,
troll on social media, in my opinion, they're full of darkness. Like,
yeah,
don't
yeah.
allow them to take the one thing that God has given you and for them to trash it. Whether you call that God, um, what's Dalum Zulu? That like God in heaven in Zulu and Xhosa and Ndebele and Setswana, whoever you call God, whatever his name is to you,
Mm, mm.
that's who gave you the gift of music.
Yeah,
Understand
yeah,
it's power. Understand that it's bigger than you, it's bigger than them, you know,
mm,
and don't
mm,
allow yourself to be heavy hearted, because music also cannot be made with a heavy heart, you know.
mm,
So
mm,
that's what I want Rainbow to be. I titled it so that it would be a sign, it would be a message, it would be a
mm,
beacon of hope, not just for me,
mm,
but for every single person that feels beaten down by life, and people that don't know them, and people that feel like they are not worth anything. You are worth
mm,
everything, and you don't
mm.
you don't have to believe anyone's version of you or stories about you. You just have to have faith that you're born in this world to do something and be something, and no one has the power to take that away, you know.
Yeah. And I think what's beautiful about rainbow is what it signifies, right? Because a rainbow comes just after rain, and
Yes.
now it's a new beginning, it's a new start, and I feel it happening. I feel it through your music, and it's really beautiful to witness. But just touching on social media, what impact do you think that the likes of your TikToks, because it kind of brought us closer as fans to the musical artists, and to you guys, how do you cope with that? And because you were in the music industry back, I mean, 2017, TikTok wasn't necessarily a thing, and people would only be able to reach out or speak to you via Twitter, and not really speak to you directly, but send something on Twitter, and you kind of come across it or see it. But how has that relationship now changed in terms of social media, where I can have kind of direct access to you? If you post something on TikTok, I can comment, you can see it, we can have a dialogue. How has that relationship changed? Do you like it? Don't you? What's your opinion on it?
I absolutely love it. Like, I love
Mm,
social media. Like, anyone who knows me from for 2 seconds knows I absolutely love social media. Even Twitter,
mm,
or X as we call it now. Even that,
yeah.
it's such a great app, you know, if used the right way. Um, I think it's so important for musicians, politicians, public figures, models, whoever is in the public spotlight, whatever. I
Mm,
think it's so important for people to be connected, you know.
yeah.
This whole idea that you are better than other people, and trust me,
Mm,
it's literal conversation that happens in certain industries where they want you to not be part of people. They want you to
mm,
kind of be seen as above and better. And I've
mm,
always struggled with that since I got in, you know, like since I started making music. I struggled with the idea that I'm supposed to be perceived as better than other people. That's
mm,
insanity, you know. It also contributes a lot to objectifying and dehumanizing public figures. So tools like TikTok have given us back our humanity, for lack of a
mm.
better word. It's
Yeah.
made it so much easier for me as an artist to live in the world, um, to kind of go to the mall. I randomly go to the mall by myself sometimes, and
Mm,
everyone on my team will be like, "Don't do that." I'm like, "But get more to man, can I my IG, and I've got skin, and why am I different?" So
yeah.
that thing of TikTok allows us all to have the same experience. So we're all doing the
Mm.
Jolly Bobby challenge. I haven't done it yet. I might not. I don't know. But
Can you dance is the question. Can you
I
even dance?
can. I really can. But it's also something I don't focus on like that. I'm trying to get choreographers to like teach me, but time is not always on my side. But
Yeah,
honest
yeah,
to God, it gives us this thing of unity. Like we all can participate in challenges, and we all can do stupid stuff. And you now
yeah.
know how I sound. Like a lot of people, when I started posting on TikTok, had no idea how I spoke. They thought that
Yeah.
I spoke different, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, she speaks like she sings." I'm like, "Duh," you know.
It's me.
And you can also like troll people, but playfully, not like with that evil thing. Like you can
Yeah.
also troll people. It gives you such an opportunity to comment on other people's videos. Like I personally feel like I'm part of a community, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel empowered by that community. I feel supported by that community. Um, So it's a great thing. Like social media should be embraced, and I think the more artists like post and participate in challenges and
Mm.
also be on other people's songs. You don't always have to post your songs. Like we get it,
Yeah,
you're a musician, but be in part of other people's songs. Like enjoy yourself. It's a place for you to be happy and free. So
yeah,
just do that. Yeah.
yeah. Can you tell me, in terms of artists, is there someone in particular in terms of artists that has influenced you? When you were on the come up, of course, or even now, that's influenced you, and maybe your new album.
um, when I was on the come up, I think I was really influenced by black coffee. Like it was a
Mm.
real thing for me. I know black coffee has probably no idea, but
Well, now he
artist,
knows.
as an artist, I always found him to be quite. He's always conducted his artistry as a business, and I really admire that about Black Coffee. There's so many things
Mm,
that can be said about his work and his work ethic that
mm,
unfortunately gets overlooked sometimes because of personal
mm,
drama and stuff. And then people like Bonang, she's not a musician, but I remember just like always loving how she positioned herself, how she always felt like she always seemed like an empowered woman, even though she's
mm,
gone through so many challenges.
mm, mm.
Um, Absolutely love those two people in terms of their business and their work ethics. And then right now, I'm really just influenced by artists like Omale, Ashake, artists like Ariana Grande. Beyonce remains somebody to look up to in terms of how she's so versatile and how she's not afraid. Beyonce is one of those artists that gives us permission as artists. Obviously, you get permission from God, but I mean, like, validates the decisions sometimes that you're making as an artist to kind of branch out and to do other
Mm,
things. You know, so
mm,
yeah,
mm.
those are the people that I can genuinely say really help or formulate a certain way in which I operate, you know? Yeah.
All right. Ladies and I know that we've got about like 4 or 5 minutes before we have to let you go. But I want to ask you some fun questions,
Okay.
because as you said, you're also just human, you're just a
Yeah.
person as well that wants to get involved in things. I want to know from you, if you could create a super group, right, with any musicians, living or dead, who would it be and what would you name that band?
Oh my gosh, super group. First name
Yeah.
that comes to mind, Chris Brown.
Really?
Um, yeah, I love Chris. He's so cool. Chris Brown, Michael Jackson, Beyonce, Tina Turner,
Okay.
and who's the Tina Turner? Yeah, I think those four, right?
Ang panguluda. Hi, hi, ladies and gentlemen. Nag-judge, and nag-judge, and nag-judge, and nag-judge.
You asked me to create a super group, right? So if you check, these four people all are like, they were great entertainers. Stage presence
Good.
was insane and dance. So imagine Beyonce, Chris Brown, Michael Jackson, Tina Turner, all choreographed,
Woo,
singing, Tina doing
woo,
her voice things, Beyonce
woo,
going, Chris
woo,
Brown with the ooh, and then
woo.
Michael Jackson with the high pitches. I promise
Definitely.
you, those people would be insane,
I
right? And I
see.
think I would call it.
Sonic. Love it. Okay. And one more out of the world question, before we let you go. What's the most unexpected place or situation you found inspiration for a song?
Wow, the most unexpected place. I
Yeah.
think it was like inner city Joburg.
Okay.
Um,
What were you doing?
uh, I've done so much. You inner city Joburg, the slums, like they like,
Yeah.
um, and it was the song was really Sophia Town from King Zamar.
Mm.
Um, I was intrigued by what Joburg used to look like and what
Yeah.
Joburg is now, and almost creating like a romantic version of it in my mind. And then
Mm.
I created Sophia Town, the song. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. I must just say, ladies and gentlemen, before I let you go, I've got two things. One, your song Charlotte with Prince KB. My friend got married to it. So Sasenzi bus, we literally like did a whole bus to that song. And I'm telling you, game changed. Like ever since then, I was like, it's me and Lady Zamar the whole way.
Oh
Two,
wow.
Two, I want to mention because my brother's like, don't you forget me. My brother's is a Martian, die hard. And he's like, yo, please tell Lady Zamar, say what's up.
Thank you.
My brother's like, please tell Lady Zamar, say what's up. So I'm saying what's up on behalf of my brother to you. And
Oh
finally,
wow.
Lady Zamar, before we let you go, if you could impart just one piece of wisdom to aspiring musicians, what would it be?
Do you don't
Do you?
allow anyone to make you feel like you need to be someone else.
Yeah.
Your the way you think about music, the way you want to do music, that's the way you should do it. Don't allow people to change that. Too many people in this world will tell you, no, there's no space for you. There's no, you gotta do this. This sells. This doesn't sell. Nah, there's space for everyone. Do you?
Mm. Love it. My lady, thank you so much for joining us. I know that you are busy going elsewhere now. Thank you for taking the time out. I really appreciate you. Can you have a concert for us at some point in life, please? Is this album gonna go on tour? Because it has to go on tour. Please, Jackson. Oh,
This
you need
album,
and please come to the Eastern Cave. Please, please, please. You need Lady
definitely.
Zamar.
Eastern Cape is my home, guys. Like I love it. So yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your Friday and enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's been so lovely chatting to you. All love, love and light from the jump off from Keith Ngesi Radio. Love you, babe.
Bye.
Bye bye. That was Lady Zamar hanging out with us. That was Lady Zamar hanging out with us. We've been having a good time in studio, man. Wow! Damn. Loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. Thank you so much for sharing your story, Lady Zamar. You gave me the courage to speak my truth. Musad Musadu coming through there, thanking Lady Zamar. Otherwise, we are going to carry on with the